Hi guys, this is Heidi with Kiddos Corral, and today I'm going to show you guys how I make my roasted garlic mashed potatoes. It is so easy that I can't even believe I'm sharing it with you, but I know that you all will enjoy this. And since we are having a lot of family get-togethers, if you guys are looking for a fast, easy way to make mashed potatoes, this is it. So I'm going to show you guys exactly what I do. I need to just grab a spoon. So the first thing you want to do is you need 2 pounds of red potatoes. They need to be red potatoes because the skin on a red potato is very, very thin. So you want to go ahead and put your crock pot on low. You want to make sure your potatoes are washed. If there's anything on them that shouldn't, you need to cut those. But I don't know if this is 2 pounds of potatoes. I just make sure that my lid can fit over the potatoes, and then I know I have plenty in here. So we're going to start with 1 stick of butter, and we're just going to lay it right on top, because that's just going to melt and go down in there. We're going to use a 1/2 cup, so I'm only going to need half of this, of broth. Now I'm using a beef broth, but the original recipe that I have written in my cookbook calls for veggie stock or veggie broth. So if you want to use chicken, I use whatever I have on hand. So if I would have had chicken left over, I probably would have added that to it. But I had a can of beef broth and it needed to be used, so I'm just using that. So next you want to add a little bit of parsley, and all the measurements will be down below in the description box. And I just sprinkle parsley all over the potatoes. Next you're going to want to put in some thyme. And I think I'm going to have to use my hand because my spoon won't fit in this jar. Okay, so you want to add some thyme to this. And I use a lot of thyme in my recipes. I don't know if you guys use a lot of thyme, but I do. I love it in chicken, and I use it in stews. Now you're going to need some garlic. And I just throw it on in there, just like that. And you are going to put your lid on this, and you are going to let it cook up until those potatoes get soft. And then whenever it is done, if you have a handheld mixer, you can put your handheld mixer in here with some heavy cream and mash all of your potatoes. But since I don't have a handheld mixer, I actually take my potatoes out of the crock pot and put them in my mixing bowl with my standing mixer, and I whip them in it instead of leaving it. But really, truly, if you have a handheld mixer, I would just mix it in here and be done. But I will show you the next step, or you could use a masher, really. If I wanted to, I could use a masher. I may decide to do that today. So there's several ways of mashing these potatoes whenever they get done, but I'm just going to let this cook the rest of the day, and I will come back later on this evening and show you what these mashed potatoes look like. I'm going to be serving my mashed potatoes with some steamed broccoli and some meatloaf. Okay, happy evening, guys. I am checking in on my potatoes. And when you take this off, it is going to steam a bunch. So I've got my camera back away from this because I certainly don't want to steam it all up for you guys. But I'm going to show you how done these potatoes are. I mean, see, you just slice right through them with no problem at all. So these are ready to mash. Now, since I don't have a handheld mixer, and all of these potatoes, man, you can tell I'm from the South. All these potatoes are not going to fit in my mixing bowl, so I'm going to have to probably do 2 batches in my mixing bowl and then pour the mashed potatoes into a large bowl, if that makes any sense. Or I may just pour them back into my crock pot. That way I don't have to dirty up anything else. Okay, so I've got my mixing bowl, and I need to get a large spoon that I can get a hold of these potatoes. I'm going to just put these in my mixing bowl, and I'm going to come back here a little bit so you guys can see what I'm doing. And you can see that they are steaming like crazy. And I got all that garlic, and now I kind of take my spoon a little bit and break them up in my bowl just a little tad. You don't have to, because they're really soft, but they're big. The potatoes are really big, so I just break them up just a little bit. I'm probably going to put half of the potatoes in here. And I just want to say that the recipe doesn't call for it, but I do add just a little bit more butter while I'm mixing them. And also too, you want to have some heavy whipping cream. That is what makes these potatoes taste so good. Maybe I will put it on my list for Christmas this year to get a handheld mixer so I don't have to do this part. Okay, so I think that is about half, or probably just a little bit more than half. And I'm just going to switch my camera over to where my mixer is so you guys can see exactly how I mix these mashed potatoes. Okay, I have my potatoes in my mixing bowl, and I put a couple tablespoons of extra butter in there, and then I'm just going to lock this down, and I'm going to add some heavy cream to this, and I'm just going to let this do its job. And I just add just a little bit, hopefully it doesn't steam up my camera. Just add until they are good and whipped. So a little tad bit more. Okay, that looks about good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix the second part of my potatoes just like this, and then I'm going to combine them all together and I'll show you what they look like. Okay, there is my mashed potatoes, and I put them in a serving bowl for this evening, and that is not even quite half of them. The other half we'll put in the refrigerator for leftovers, but they are over the top delicious. Show you guys a close-up. They are hot and they are wonderful. They are delicious. Hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I will be talking to you guys again soon.